Everything moving in an easterly direction. Certainly not good news for the weekend, even though we did, as Rosie and Bab said, have a beautiful day today with all that sunshine, hardly a cloud in the sky. Oh, look what the National Weather Service did to me. All of a sudden we have clear skies and boom, a nuclear attack. That's not what that is. They just flipped the format out of the clear air mode, and they're looking at some precipitation aloft. Nothing is coming down to the ground right now. Don't worry about that. It's not going to happen until tomorrow. Then we'll start to get some snow tomorrow night. 32 degrees, our high today. 15 our low last night. Averages 40 and 23. Last year, 36 and 21. Okay, let's have a look at our temperature for now. 31 degrees, humidity 45%. Barometer 29.79. That's starting to fall again. Winds are light out of the south at 9 miles an hour. Wind chill factor 19 degrees, so that's what it feels like on your skin when you're outside. But real temperature 31. That's not too bad. It'll be colder than this tomorrow night. 31 in Cleveland now, 29 in Akron and Canton, 28 in Mansfield, 30 in Columbus, 27 in Zanesville, 32 in Marietta, Parkersburg, over in Pittsburgh, 29, up in Toledo, they're coming in at 30, Findlay at 27, Dayton at 30, and Cincinnati at 31 degrees, and over in Indiana, a little bit of precipitation in the form of some very light snow over there, but we're not expecting much of anything here until tomorrow. Here's what's happening. Down in the southeast, low pressure and a big trough of low pressure through the southeast has been causing scattered shower activity today. Nothing too serious down there, and that front is going to stay about where it is. This front will come through tomorrow, followed by a secondary cold front that's going to usher in much colder air after the passage of the first one. Now, the first one will come through tomorrow, as you can see, and as it does, we'll get back to a wind shift out of the southwest to the west, and those westerly winds will come across Lake Erie, and as is usual, they'll start to pick up some lake effect snow. That lake effect snow is, in all probability, going to affect Lake Geauga and Ashtabula counties late tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night. You could have some significant accumulation there, but generally speaking, I don't think we'll get very much, just a few flurries here or there. Then a secondary front's going to come down behind that and just reinforce the cold air that's already here. Won't bring any more snow, but just lower temperatures. For wake-up time, cloudy skies, winds out of the southwest 15 to 25, temperature 28 degrees, and I have no idea whatsoever how that ever got in there at this time because it's not supposed to be in my computer there. What I do want is tomorrow. Now we're back to normal. Chance of light snow. Winds out of the southwest coming to the west at 15 to 25 with a high temperature of 35. Sunset time 6:20. And now here's our 5-day forecast. And for tomorrow, we'll have some snow developing. 35 degrees will be our high. 10 will be our low. On Sunday, some light snow, 20 for a high and 10 for a low. And then on Monday, we'll have quite a bit of sunshine, 33 and 20. On Tuesday, a mixture of rain or snow and snow, low 40s, mid-30s on Wednesday, about the same. I'm going to push the button again to see if I can get tomorrow back. Look at that. Came up twice. Yeah, a gremlin in there today. Cloudy skies. Winds out of the southwest at 15 to 25 in the morning. Temperature of 28 degrees. I think throughout the day we'll be okay, but later in the day, a little bit of light snow, particularly, as I said, in the snow belt areas.
Okay.
Tuesday's the only one above freezing, it looks like.
It's a grumpy weekend.
Okay. Enjoy that disposition that we just had.
That's right.
Thanks, Don. Okay. Well, coming up next in sports, an ugly debut for the Indians in spring training today. Bob's got the gory details.
And if the Cavs had to lose tonight, at least they made a Cleveland favorite happy. The story next when News Channel 5 comes back.
You go to pass a slow-moving motorist. The road ahead appears clear. Suddenly, the semi comes out of nowhere. Which would you rather have for your defense? Dual airbags, or what's been called the best V6 engine in the world? How about both? The Maxima from Nissan. Now lease a Maxima GXE for $299 a month and $750 down for 36 months.
Better skin day after day. Clearer, brighter, smoother skin with Estee Lauder's Fruition. Better skin year after year. Skin that stays younger looking, less lined with Estee Lauder's Advanced Night Repair. Wonderful skin, now and forever.
Now a lucidity sample in your shade, plus 7 beauty essentials, free with any $17.50 Estee Lauder purchase. Yours through March 16th at Dillard's.
Their parents pushed to the edge.
He could blow at any time against anybody.
They moved away and didn't tell their child.
When you have a kid that threatens to blow your head off,
Did you abandon this boy. How much should a parent have to take?
I say that we should take until we can take no more. Where do we think that these little monsters come from?
Parents have got to be able to have some way to go and say, I need help, I don't know what to do.
Runaway Parents, next Oprah.
Oprah, Monday at 4 on News Channel 5.
Mr. Davis, the terms of the sweepstakes said that in exchange for the truckload of 4C Parmesan cheese, your family would appear in these commercials.
Get out of the restaurant.
Action!
Anthony's Restaurant, good food, could be better. What's missing? 4C Parmesan cheese.
For heaven's sake.
4C has pizzazz to pasta, sizzle to salad, muscle to minestrone, and gusto to gnocchi. So I always tote some along, but I never tell Anthony.
Cut. Very nice. Yeah, put the cheese back in your purse.
Take the Clark Ford Automotive Credit Test. Got a job, steady income, stable residence? If you answered yes, you're approved at
Mr. Big Volume.
Clark Ford. You can drive a new car. If we can't get you approved for automotive credit, we'll pay you $100 in cold, hard cash. Qualified buyers get special 3.9% fixed rate financing up to 60 months. What are you waiting for? Get to Clark Ford today.
We're building another stadium, and now there's talk of a new convention center to go with the two we already have. Why? How much? Where will it go? I'm Fegler, Sunday morning at 10.
Well, the Cavs lost tonight, but they'll get that little asterisk because it was a special night, I guess.
That's right.
Yeah, and the guy they lost to, it'll be better than an asterisk for him. I tell you what, I got to paint the picture, first of all, that the Cavs were looking at tonight in Atlanta. Of all the ugly games they played this year, the one they lost earlier in the season to the Hawks, they only scored 72 points, only shot 34%. It might have been the ugliest. In that game, they had Bobby Phills and Terrell Brandon. Tonight, they did not. And they also had their old coach, Lenny Wilkins, staring at his 1,000th career win. Cavs get 26 from Chris Mills tonight, but only 42 from everybody else. They still led by 1 at the half, despite the halftime buzzer beater by Steve Smith. Two teams were 2 for 20 and 3-pointers in the first half. The only guy who warmed up in the second was Mookie Blaylock, who finished with 18. This three that beat the third quarter buzzer put the Hawks up by 11. The Cavs only shot 35%, only scored 30 in the second half, and appropriately, Craig Elo finished off Lenny's 1,000th win. You realize even going undefeated, it would take you 12 and a half years to win 1,000, and he did it without ever coaching a Hall of Famer.
It's every time that I've decided to move on, you know, the teams with the real superstars weren't looking for a coach at that time.
All right, Lenny Wilkins, 1,000 wins. Hawks now within a game of the Cavs, who are still a half game ahead of the losing Knicks. And the Bulls rumble on. They're 51-6. Indians got a mouthful of what great expectations taste like today. Oh, yeah, it was the first preseason game, but they'd played bad, and afterward, Mike Hargrove even got a little testy when asked why Julio Franco couldn't dig out 3 catchable balls. Jack McDowell, the victim of 2 of those errors, one of them on this double play ball. Watch Carlos Baerga gets the turn from Vizquel, and then he throws the ball low, but the good first baseman make that play. That was the ugly. The good in this game, well, Albert Bell picked up where he left off last year, and we're not talking about abusing reporters. We're talking about abusing baseballs. The 2-run homer off David Cohn in the first. The best news, though, was Oral Hershiser, a sharp 2 innings where he allowed only 1 hit. Still, the Tribe loses the game by a 5-2 count. Nice pitch there by Oral. A month from today, when these same 2 teams open the season for real, hopefully we'll have all forgotten today's debacle. Tonight, down in Columbus, the girls from Magnificat were magnificent, winning their 4th state gymnastics championship. Meanwhile, the basketball sectionals march on. Matt Underwood takes it to the hole.
Down 12 in the first half, East Tech rallied on Michael Shropshire's 3 off the glass. What, are you kidding me? The Maple Heights lead was 5 at the break. Golden Scarabs tie it in the third on 2 of Charles Bigsby's 15. Maple's Dedrick Alston feeds James Little for 2 of his 17, and the Mustangs were ready to roll. Leroy Payne finished the flurry with the flush. He had 18. Stangs win 88-74.
With the victory, Maple Heights now moves to the district semifinals, where they will get either the reigning district champion Cleveland Heights Tigers or the host South High Flyers.
Cleveland Heights started fast. Phil Lawson's lay won't go, but Theo Dixon is there to put it back in the basket. Ronnie Turney led South with 17 as they surged ahead late in the first half. Dixon tied the game just before the break with this tray, and the joint was jumping. The Flyers kept fighting back. Jeremy Burge filling it up from Trifectaville. But in the end, Heights had a few extra moves that gave them the win. Harold Russell muscles it up and in. Tigers 77, South 65. At the hoop, Matt Underwood, News Channel 5. Now let's check all the round ball scores on tonight's scoreboard.
March has not come in like a lion for our pro teams. Tribe loses, Cavs lose, Crunch even loses its second straight, 19-10 in Baltimore. And they could still clinch the division title tomorrow night at home against Buffalo. Meanwhile, the Lumberjacks must have a case of stage fright. They get another great crowd at the Gun tonight, nearly 14,000, and they fall flat on their frozen faces. Oleg Belov scores in the first period for the Jacks, but Cincinnati gets the next 4 goals. The game winner is scored by former Jack Dale DeGray. Lumberjacks have won only 3 of the 10 games they've played in front of crowds over 10,000. One solution, of course, to that would be for everybody to stay home. My guess is the Lumberjacks would not like that solution.
Not at all.
Learn to play in front of the big crowd.
Nasty sports day.
Yeah. Be a better weekend.
But even though we lost in Atlanta, though, with the Cavs, good for Lenny.
I'm proud of Lenny. He's been my hero since I was about this tall.
Always liked him.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Sure.
Thanks, Bob. Well, African-American churches band together in the fight against AIDS.
Coming up, we'll tell you about their efforts.
When it comes to quality furniture, how do I know I'm getting the best value?
It's easy when you're at home with Siemens with no down payment, no payments, and no interest till July.
It's official. Your local Ford dealer now has 7 of the top 10 sellers in Northeast Ohio. And with a great selection plus quality service, they're out to stay #1 as Ford Division and Ford Credit celebrates the Great Percent event with interest rates slashed to 4.8 for 48 months. Or choose 1,000 cash back on Ford Escort and Windstar. Or get 600 cash back on the all-new Taurus, Ranger, Contour, and more during the Great Percent event. Is it any wonder why Ford is still #1? Hurry! See your Northeast Ohio Ford dealer today.
Watch Ohio Lottery's winning numbers drawn live.
Right here, weeknights at 7:29.
And every Saturday night at 7:30.
During Cash Explosion Double Play, TV's richest game show.
Opening day is still a month away, but the hottest ticket in town is the 69th Greater Cleveland International Auto Show, March 2nd through the 10th at the IX7.
Well, it's going to be a week of prayer and worship in the battle against AIDS. Leaders of Greater Cleveland's African-American churches made that commitment today. It's part of the National Black Church Week of prayer for the healing of AIDS. The leaders say African-Americans have been hit hard by the disease, and the week will be used to educate people about AIDS and raise hope as well.
And finally, you soon may be able to wash your mouth out with soap. Literally, the FDA could approve a new toothpaste this year containing an ingredient found in soap and shampoo. The Colgate company says its new Total toothpaste won't actually be soap. It will still be toothpaste, but the soap ingredient will help fight tartar and plaque. No word on the taste.
It's going to have to taste really good.
I say bubbles, maybe. That's the news for now.
Nightline is next. See you later.
This is a Nightline Friday night special.